Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It is Tuesday, August 25, and somebody pointed out that last week I told everybody it was September already. It's not, it's August. And I'm here alone this week because Charlie has gone on a biking trip with a friend, which I'm very glad about. And so I decided, hi Steve Verona, nice to see you. I decided sort of yesterday that I would try to do an abbreviated version of my one-woman show because I did a song called A Bad Cliche last week, which is pretty dark, and I told you I'd been in a space sort of re-examining my own past, and my one-woman show is about a lot of that. So anyway, I thought this week I'm kind of doing it this week. So anyway, here it is. Hi, Brenna Olivier. This is the CD that I made from my getting a bachelor's degree in psychology, and I made it then into, it's always hard to remember, into a one-woman show, which is a CD called, and the show was called The Pomegranate Seed, an exploration of appetite, body image, and myth in modern culture. It sounded very brainy. Hi, Kathy Marzik. Good morning. Hi, Nancy Basket. Hi, Aloysius. And I'm not going to do it all today, but I'm going to do some of it. And hi, Bonnie O'Donnell. Good morning. So I've got 6 songs I'm going to do. And behind me, if you can see, I have put up my articulated Barbie that TR made for me years ago. She is actually 6 feet tall, although I couldn't do that because I didn't have something. But I'll show you that her feet down there she could be much taller, but she will come in. She'll come in handy later. Hi, Tom Smith. Good morning. Hi, Judy Abbey. Hi, Emma Sloniker. Just my kind of brainy, says Emma Sloniker. Bless your heart. So this is not exactly how the show went, but these are 6 songs that were part of it. And I listened to the CD this week because I was interested in just discovering what it was, and I hadn't listened to it in about 25 years. This is called The Underworld. And in the show, this was the turning point. This is when you got all the way to the bottom, but I've decided to start with it today. Hi, Chris Bamer. It's a long way in. It's a long way down. There's a lot of loss before the found. There's a softest side to the hardest part. There's a reason the world cuts a hole in your heart. The heroes have always been wounded, and the wounded have always known. We are always arriving, and we're always leaving home. At the bottom of the wheel, on the floor of the world, is the place where pain is made into pearl. The heroes have always been wounded, and the wounded have always known that we are always arriving, and we're always leaving home. It's a long way in. It's a long way down. There's a lot of loss before o'er the found. The heroes have always been wounded, and the wounded have always known. We are always arriving, and we're always leaving home. Hi, Nancy Basket. Nancy says, I was at the show. Yes, you were. Hi, Trisha Cronin from Salt Lake City. Morning, it's a beautiful day, she says. Hi, Cynthia Cohen. Bonnie O'Donnell. Wow, I haven't heard that one in so long, and I forgot how much I like it. Well, thank you, Bonnie. Cynthia Cohen. I love hearing where these songs come from. Sybil Bannet, the show, The Underworld sounds risky. Yeah. Kathy Marzik. I remember Barbie, and I love the Pomegranate CD. Thank you. Hi, Dan Tappan. Good morning. So, for those of you who are just joining, I'm doing a little abbreviated version of my one-woman show today, just because that's sort of where I decided I would start. And the show actually started with me holding up, I think I held up an apple. And I said, I ate the apple of the knowledge of goodness and evil, or fat and thin, where fat is evil and thin is good. I'm not sure if I say it in this order, but this is kind of, I remember some other, and then I said, when I was 14, my father offered me a new dress if I would lose some weight. That was when I discovered that the road to the Emerald City was paved with landmines. So I bring in Judy Garland and the Yellow Brick Road in this, in the beginning of the show. And then, hold on, I do this song. This is called Dorothy and Eve. Let's see what else is here. Hi, Steve Verona. If only the Barbie movie people had used one of your songs rather than the Indigo Girls. Thank you. Hi, Suze Allen. Good morning. Your gorgeous voice adds such sweetness. Already picked on a perfect Maine day. Oh, I'm glad. Hi, Kim Wallach. Good morning. Brad Myers. Good morning from lovely Lincoln. Brad Myers lent me a Barbie book, which, Brad, I looked at the beginning, but I confess I have not read the whole thing. All right, so here's the song I actually start the show with. And what I say is, let's see if I can remember. Judy Garland has a dream. In the dream, she is once again Dorothy. And she once again walks down the yellow brick road. But in the dream, at the fork in the road where normally would stand the scarecrow, there stands Eve from the Garden of Eden. Dorothy met Eve at a fork in the yellow brick road. She said, I'm going to see the wizard. I hear he's great. Eve said, I've met him, and whatever you do, just don't tell him what you ate. Let's see here. Dorothy asked Eve, should I go left here or go right? Eve said, listen to my story before you take my advice. I was thrown out for an over-curious bite. They say I have a dangerous appetite. But what I learned from the apple I ate is there might be innocence, there are no mistakes. There's always a safe, easy thing to believe. So question what you find behind the curtain, Dorothy. Dorothy said, I'm just looking for a happy ending. Eve said Hollywood was always good at pretending. But when the movie is over and Dorothy, you disappear, Judy Garland will be left with all her fears. Poor Judy, her happy endings, they were riddled with doubt. She ate the wrong thing and she got thrown out. The end of the rainbow had nowhere to hide. Judy looked behind the curtain and she did not survive. Dorothy met Eve at a fork in the yellow brick So after I do that, then I hold up Oreo Barbie. Hi, John Ferrulo. Brad Myers, it's yours to keep. Oh, aren't you sweet? Ginny Murphy, good morning. Hi, Sparky Allen. Kathy Marzik, the road to Emerald City is paved with landmines. Wow. Tom Luba, good morning. Larry Pattis, good morning. Hi, Margot Lamoo. For those of you joining, I'm doing an abbreviated version of my one-woman show, The Pomegranate Seed, this morning, because Charlie's not here. And I'm sort of on my own little journey these days of thinking about things. So then I hold up Oreo Barbie. And I say, this is Oreo Barbie. I found her in the dairy section of my grocery store. I don't know if you noticed this, but Oreo Barbie has an Oreo purse. It's the size of a real Oreo. And then I say, find me one more thing in this box the size of a real anything. And then I say, Oreo Barbie, a body like Barbie, and here's Barbie back here, a body like Barbie. And I hold up, I think this is, let's see, what year is this from? Harper's Bazaar, February 2003. That shows you when I was doing the show. This was a magazine cover that I knew had been photoshopped. I don't know if you know, but if you remember, but photoshopping the models was sort of controversial when it first started happening. And I knew that this Bazaar cover, I'd read an article that said this woman has been photoshopped. She's not actually this skinny. And so I do this, and then we do this song. Let's see, what's in standard tuning? This one. And so then here, this is my letter to the Mattel Corporation suggesting a more realistic Barbie. Here's Chris Bamer saying, wow, that damn Adam and Eve story has been oppressing women for millennia. I agree. Hi, Claude Galinsky. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. From Lake Marie. No, Marie is coming from Spring Lake, New Jersey. Oh, nice. So, dear Mattel, I'm writing you this letter. I have some ideas on how to make Barbie better. So in this envelope I have enclosed a list on how to make Barbie more like women who really exist. So let's make a Barbie who always has to pee, with a body succumbing to gravity. Let's give her some problems with water retention and fantasies she will not mention. Some facial hair and sensible shoes and feet big enough she could really use. You built Barbie a front end. It's really quite impressive, but it's hard to think of nursing with something so aggressive. And while we're on the subject, who could ever pretend there's anything natural about Barbie's rear end? The kids are gonna ask sooner or later, so let's give Barbie her own vibrator. Let's be compassionate, let's be realistic. Whoever made Ken was a little sadistic. Dear Mattel, you made Barbie an impressive sight. If those proportions were real, she couldn't walk upright. She'd be crawling on her hands and knees. Is it really so demanding to want a role model who's capable of standing? And I remembered in the middle of that song that I used to have, and I still have somewhere down cellar if I went and looked for it, these two huge silver conical shaped breasts that I would hang on Barbie about the time that I would say, it's hard to think of nursing with something so aggressive. Hi, Brenda Curry. I'm still in shock over Oreo Barbie. Brilliant Barbie song coasting. Thank you. I love this song. I made a Barbie necklace out of Barbie legs one year. I might still have it, Barbie legs. Let's have one more Barbie. So, in the second act, when we come to the moment of change, we sing the song, the Underworld, and then I'll get to the next song. I have one more Barbie who appears because I still tell the story of Inanna, a Babylonian myth from a long time ago about a woman who goes down to the underworld. You know, we are like overwhelmed right now with the Odyssey movie and the male version of going down to the underworld. And one of the female versions, hi Charlie Koch, and one of the female versions of the myth of descent is Inanna. Inanna goes down to the underworld to visit her dark sister named Ereshkigal. And Ereshkigal is her evil self. And Ereshkigal hangs Barbie on a meat hook, and parts of her rot off. And that is her her change, her becoming. And it's very dark. It's not a story about going out to find gold and coming back to your wife who decides she loves you again if she recognizes you. It's very dark. So Barbie makes one more appearance when she is hung. I have a meat hook that used to be back there. She gets hung on a meat hook, and she becomes Inanna in the underworld. So anyway, that's Barbie. Okay, here's one song that I spent last night trying to remember. A lot of these songs, I don't remember how to play them anymore. That's part of the reason I'm doing this. And this is one of them. Last night, I spent forever trying to think, where was the capo? What was the first chord? And this morning, literally, 7 minutes before the show starts, I remember the guitar part. And it almost shows up whole as a whole thing. Charlie Koch says, thanks for checking into our live stream all. Charlie, nice to see you. This is called All Alone with a Bathing Suit. I'm not sure I'll get through though. The words are down here, so I'll be looking at it. All alone with a bathing suit. No, sorry. All alone in the dressing room, I'm not having much fun. The only consolation is I'm probably not the only one. Wondering why I bother with the battle I am fighting. The naked truth in this fluorescent lighting. Me and my affirmations, we're gonna have to regroup. Why did I have to come in here and try on this bathing suit? I felt okay until I came in here. My body's the right size most of the year, but now I'm looking at the picture they have here on the tag. Might as well cut arm and leg holes in a paper bag like the cover of Cosmo. And the Diet Coke ad, it makes me just a little lonesome and a little mad. I gave myself a pep talk the other night. I said, it's just a bathing suit, you will be alright. All the things I like about who I have become. In this dressing room, I can't remember a single one, 'cause I'm all alone with this bathing suit. Well, you would think that a woman of my intelligence and age could summon up a little self-righteous shopper's rage. But as I lose the will to live in front of this mirror, all the ways they have me hooked become clearer and clearer. And if I follow my thoughts down to the root, it doesn't have much to do with this bathing suit. All alone in the dressing room with a bathing suit. Kim Wallach says, so much truth. Thank you, dear. Claude Galinsky, my former co-worker and her ultimate Frisbee team, the Lady Godivas, practiced a post-game ritual known as Barbie on the Barbie, which was exactly what you think. Oh, Chris Bamer, thank you so much for saying, thanks for bringing out these deep cuts. Connie Jellison, good morning. Okay, so now, let me look at my list. Where are we at? I have some other little show and tell. This is a box that used to be that's something that I dropped into the underworld. And the underworld was a trash can wherever I was doing the show. I used to do this at colleges all over the country. And I would hang this. TR was brilliant about making me think. So see how you can hang this. So all I had to ask them for was I need a trash can. And this was the sign that was the underworld. And into the underworld went I would hold up this box of rejected parts, and of course it's all flat because I had to fly with it. So I could reassemble it before I did the show into a box like this, and then into it went, and then I talked about all my rejected parts, and the rejected parts, here they are. These are the rejected parts, and they got dropped into the rejected parts box, which got dropped into the trash can, which was the underworld. And the trash can showed up later because out of the trash can, I pulled something beautiful, but I can't remember what it was. I pulled something beautiful out of the trash can later on when I do the song I'm about to do. So let's see. Okay. So in any myth or show, you need a moment of change. And the moment of change comes for me. If you were here last week, I did a song about I had a kind of creepy uncle. And I did a song about him called A Bad Cliche. And I want to see the show. Was it taped and available for viewing? I have a CD of the live show. You can buy the songs. If you look online, there's probably little bits of it on YouTube if you look for Cozy Sheridan, the Pomegranate Seed. So I needed a moment of change. And this song became the change for me. And it's called Survivor. And whatever it is that we feel we are surviving. And at the end of it, I point out that in I'm just going to tell you this because it's going by, I don't want you to miss it. In all of our surviving, beauty goes on. And in it, I somehow, at this part of the show, but right before singing this song, I go into the trash can and I bring out something beautiful and I talk about how I've become a butterfly. And I had this outfit that had these huge sleeves that would look like a butterfly. I mean, it was all very, very rough. But anyway, here we go. So this is called Survivor, and this was the moment where I said, I am a survivor, but life is a beautiful thing anyway. So here we go. All these songs used to be in open C, which I was in love with the year I made this CD. So yesterday I figured out how to put it in DADGAD, so it's not quite the same thing. I called myself Survivor. I gotta find the lyrics. Wait a minute, here they are. Aloysius. During AIDS, the chrysalis was the beautiful imagery given to people. Thank you, Aloysius. Okay, we're trying again here. I called myself Survivor. I stitched it on my sleeve, my shield against those who did not believe. It was my trumpet and my standard, my battle cry, as I led the army of truth against the army of the lie. I call myself Survivor, my first and last name. From the sharper edge of history, I was able, coming back for Cain. I called myself Survivor, but I did more than just not die. Maybe the ashes made the phoenix, maybe the fall brings the rise. I have seen stars at midnight, I have heard the birds at dawn, and in all of our surviving, beauty goes on and on and on and on. Beauty goes on and on and on and on. Beauty goes on. So that's the moment of change. And there's one song left that we're going to do. How am I doing on time? I'm doing okay. Here's somebody, let's see, Suze Allen, Phylogeny, the love, respect, and admiration for women and girls. Check out Phylogeny Global Alliance that I co-founded. Oh, Suze, thank you for doing that. Love to have you sing at our shows online. Phylogeny, the antidote and antonym to misogyny. You are doing it by sharing this show. Thank you for everything you do and saying, oh, Suze, thanks so much. Janet Shields Lagergren, all your visuals today. What fun. As for surviving, many of us these days are trying to survive the same thing. Thank you all. Okay, here we go. Now, at the end, remember we had Judy Garland at the beginning. So at the end, we have Glinda the Good Witch up here. And I hang her. There's quite a bit of talk that I give you, but I can't remember what it is. And I hang Glinda the Good Witch on Barbie so that she's in the background. Of course, I tried this before the show, and it will work, but let's see if I can get this to go. I hang her here. Come on. There we go. She may fall in the middle of the song. Let's hope not. But can you see? There's Glinda the Good Witch. See if I can move it. So there. So she's more there. So Glinda the Good Witch shows up, and I sing this song called "You Can Always Go Home." And Kathy Marzik, you have turned to so much unspeakable pain into so much beauty and inspiration. Oh, thank you. And Emma Sloniker sends me things. I'm sorry that I can't. Let me see if I can figure out how to sit. I'll sit over here. That way you can see Glinda through this song. And this song talks about when we give up on ourselves and how I realized that and stopped giving up on myself. And that was sort of right before I started writing this show. And I'd had a lot of hopes and a lot of dreams. And is this the wrong song? It's not. And so Glinda the Good Witch shows up. There she is. You don't know this, but I have to go backwards because my screen is backwards. Glinda the Good Witch shows up. Oh, wrong capo. Hold on. I figured this out this morning. Need a partial capo. Here we go. I went down to the roots of a tree where I have lately gone searching for home. Down a spiraling stair, a dark cave at the bottom where the truth is sometimes shown. The room was filled with raging women, 10 feet tall, with snakes in their hair. Unconscious, unlovely, unholy, the Furies, the goddesses of nightmare. I remembered them from the fortune cards that were a gift from my sister Athene. Long ago, I let someone else tell me what my life means. The Furies, they came to torment me for the hope that I let die. Your fate is just your destiny when you do not try. So I look into the Furies' fiery eyes and I ask them, what are your demands? And that's when I notice they're just puppets on strings, held by a woman's 2 hands. She'd been standing there in her dress that glittered and her silver crown that shined. I said, what are you doing here? And she said, I have been here behind the Furies all the time. And the lions, the tigers, and the bears, they won't always look the same. And there's more ways over the rainbow than just sorrow and loss and pain. I'm just here to remind you of what you've always known. Remember what I told Dorothy, you can always go home. You can always go home. Thank you all for your encouragement. Charlie says, great song, darling. Thank you, Chezzy. Chris Bamer, your fate is your destiny when you do not try. Wow, thank you. So thank you all for listening. Stop giving up on yourself. Most important tool, says Sybil. Yes. Thank you all for letting me do this week. Made a difference to me. And I don't usually cry on stage, but I have to say, singing that last song, I was quite moved. I, for some reason, am going through a lot of this again. You know, how they talk about your world, your life is a spiral, and you keep coming around to things. Well, I seem to keep coming around to it. So I appreciate you letting me doing this with you, and I appreciate you letting me share Glinda, that my partner T.R. Ritchie, he made every single one of these props. He was awesome. More ways over the rainbow than sorrow and pain, says Marie. Thank you for that. Okay, everybody. I love you all. Charlie will be back next week. Larry Pattis, thank you. Hey, Larry, wait. I wear that. I use that strap every day, Larry. Thank you so much for that guitar strap. I absolutely love it. Oh, and show Carla. This is my friend Carla Pattis made this for me. This is my new pick bag. I use it all the time. Tom Luba sends me 5 hearts. Tom, I love you. Okay, everybody. Thanks for being with me here. We'll be back next week. Have a good week. Take care of yourselves. It's a hard world right now. So take care of yourselves. And I'm glad y'all showed up here and we could take care of each other. Love you all. See you next week. Bye.